Qu'est-ce qu'ils sont bruyants! They're so loud! I love it! Thanks, Ginny. Amazing interview from Yike. And we have Reha with us to talk about this one. Thank you, Reha.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations. I'm sorry. What do we say to this? Are you going to scold them or congratulate them for actually turning this one around?
I mean, we have a saying in Scrim, which is a win is a win, kind of. But yeah, I mean, we have to review early game for sure. I think we messed up. Probably the top fight isn't good. I mean, we're supposed to be mega strong at Grubs, and we are not there all the time. So there's things that we need to rewatch for sure. But yeah.
Before you go,
okay,
I have something to say because, sorry, Reha, but we were backstage watching the game, and you see Vitality taking Atakan. So I'm going to quote you and say, "There's no way Vitality lose from this point onwards." Would you like to review that statement?
No, I wouldn't, because still there was no way. Once you get the broken Atakan, the one with the GA, I feel like if you don't, purposefully run it down, you're not gonna really lose. But I feel like who was it? Kalist and Targa found great pick on
top side.
Yeah, on top side, and then it disrupted the whole flow and the tempo, and then it allowed them to get better dragon setup. So I feel like, realistically, I was not wrong, but sometimes weird things happen. But regardless, I felt like it was a crazy game, because a lot of times as a player you get up in the situations where sometimes negative things happen and you int, and then it's the player's nature to int because he loves to int. But regardless, I think you should still be really happy, as you said, with them coming back, because this was not an easy game to come back. It required a lot of miracle work from Targa and from Kana to set up flanks and isolate the Varus repeatedly, because past 25 minutes, I feel like there was always someone on top of the Varus marking him and making his life hell, because he was the main threat of Vitality's team comp.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a bit hard to play Varus in this game, though. I think, but what I'm happy about what you said is, like, I think we practiced a bit those type of games where we're behind. Like, I think most of the teams in scrims when you're behind, you don't actually try to come back. But I think that's something that we talked a lot for the last maybe 1.5 years, and with this group particularly. And I think we did really well. Our fundamentals are reading, because let's say as a coach you watch the goal difference, but you can just check the items. The items are not the difference in items is not that big. Maybe on Varus and Wukong was quite big, but I think when we were kind of even in terms of numbers of items, we took the right fight. So even if the goal lead seems big, it's not that big, I think. And I think also we played well around summoners, so yeah, made a difference, I think.
And what I wanted to ask is, now with two new players, with Yike and Kalist, was it hard to integrate them in your systems and pretty much make them slot into the team, or are you guys still building up on the systems from last year, and it was a seamless transition with them two coming into the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think, okay, I don't know if we can hear it, fans, but yeah,
we can hear them, and they can definitely see them here.
Yeah, I mean,
the blue wall being the blue wall. I love it.
But yeah, I was saying, I mean, I think the thing is, the system that Kalist was in LFL is really similar to the system that we have in LEC, basically, because we had, his head coach was Wadi, who's my assistant coach now, and we talked a lot about how we should run a team together. So it's it's just a following of what happened in the previous splits. And for Yike, I think it's really easy to work with him. He has a lot of good ideas, and I think that's also my job to make sure that he's listened to and his ideas are followed up through, kind of. And we make sure that he has way more experience than maybe all of us. Even Targa went to Worlds, but he didn't went to Worlds twice, Yike. So most important is we listen to each other and we go in the same direction. That's the system kind of that I want to put in place, and I think we're doing it well right now. So I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if it feels like all the players take turn in carrying the game. We know Vladi had some amazing moment. Yike as well. Not going to talk about the bot lane because we know what they can do. And Kana today was the key player of the game. So any note on his performance today? And also training Kana in general?
I can't even say how happy I am to work with him. I think this game, I was, because it's in voice comms he makes a difference, which is not where we expected him to be that good at, right now, maybe my way of seeing things, okay, maybe in some aspect we can discuss about doing some specific fast play that only he sees, but he's already doing right now, so I'm mega happy. I think when we get the Varus shut down because he gets first move on buff because he knows that enemy guy based early, and then he says I'm first and the guy can't be there, it's him who talks about the number, talks about making the difference and taking the fight and pulling the team to him to take a good fight. So it's so good, to be honest, so good.
From my experience working with Korean players, it's always the surprising thing that happens, because their level of English, how they are when you scrim with them, and they're usually a lot more reserved. And all of a sudden, it's this official game where things are not really going well. And all of a sudden, he's the one with limited language skills. He's the one who's pulling the team through just from, a moment of inspiration. So it's really funny to see this happening as a trend with Korean players, but I think it's just a trend that happens with very good players.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a really good player. I think he understood the concepts that we talked, as a team, and then he does the same thing that his teammates are doing, but as himself, like he sees the things, and then we just need to follow up because everybody understands, what it means. Doesn't need to speak much. He just needs to say what he thinks he wants to do, and then it's either we go or we don't go, right? And then when he's the guys calling the shots in this type of games, so good, really surprised. I'm not surprised, but I'm really
pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised. I'm like, oh, that was actually a great performance because when he's playing Jace and all these champions, you guys are maybe like, oh my God, he's so good, but we already know he's so good. It's like, we know you're making good on Jace and people are going to ban it, right? But when he's playing those type of new champions and he's making the difference, you can see his quality as a player because he's able to pull out the new champions and make the difference, Like I think also big shout out also to Mirwin who's like putting great Mbessa as well gameplay, and then for me it's I'm pleasantly surprised, as you said.
It has been a delight, honestly, seeing what Casey is able to do this year. And you talk about Kana. There was a flashy play from Kalist last week as well. I know that you guys posted the reaction, the Draven clip that I'm talking about. And I know that Yike was asking him, why didn't you flash here? Why didn't you flash here? And Kalist was actually giving his reasoning. But from an outside perspective, that's really impressive. Thinking about this in the fire of the action, fire of the moment, and managing to do this is impressive. I'm also not really good at the game, so I guess impressed easily, but I feel like a lot of pro players got impressed by this. But I'm just wondering, for you as a coach, you've been working with Kalist for such a long time, what sets him apart as a player in short moments, short decisions like this?
I think there's a lot of good things to say about Kalist, right?
Yeah.
I think one thing that he's really, really good at is it doesn't matter really about his conditions in the game. He will always find a way to win the game. Like in this game, it's mega behind, but he's still thinking proactively, talking proactively with his team how they can win, And then when there's a clutch mechanical moments that he can outplay, he will do it. And that's the quality of him, That's these big moments. That's something that I really want to say is these big moments when you're going to be on stage playing against a mega team, and then you have to make the play. You should enjoy it, and you should try to it's kind of the Kobe mindset. It's last second shot you have to make it, and he for sure has it. And I think that's his quality. He will go there, he'll be knowing exactly what he wants to do in his team fight, doesn't matter what the conditions are, and he will just outplay the people, and that's really appreciable for sure.
And what I really like about Kalist is also the fact that he's not erring on the side of safety, because I feel like a lot of time in official games with time, people are gonna, you see a skill shot coming at you, it's gonna chunk you, maybe it's gonna get you very low on HP, and people flash it early just to preserve the HP and the resources. But Kalist feels like he's always calculating a lot. I feel like he's doing a lot of reactionary movements. A lot of time I would see a lot of people use their flash or their mobility spells a lot earlier than he does. But for him, he's always playing on the edge, and so far it worked, and I would just like to see this going on for as long as possible.
Yeah, I want to see not what's going to be the limit, but what's going to be the first hurdle for him, with the first difficulty, because he hasn't had, I don't want to say any, but not that many so far. So yeah, I just want to see how far he can go.
Yeah, I mean, he had kind of a bad year, in terms of results last year in the LFL, though. So I think it's also a growing process, because there's him as a player, and there's also him as a teammate. That's really important, and he knows completely also this role of leadership. When I talk about leadership, it's not telling to your teammates what to do and being the bigger guy. It's more about, okay, he's the most mechanically gifted player in the league, it means something to the team, right? It means every day you need to be to this level to your team, and I think he understands that as well. So I'm kind of digressing, to be honest.
No, but it's always interesting to hear your take. I want to talk about the standings, actually, and your situation as KC being 6-1 right now, if I remember correctly. But talk about your level of comfort among the best teams we have in the league right now. How do you guys feel as a team? Moving into playoffs, you're already qualified. What is going to be the main point of focus for KC entering playoffs?
I think, one thing that we're not the best team in early game, I think, for sure, in the league. So first, that's something for sure that we need to focus on.
Oh, worst, you said. Okay,
we are not the best, that's what I mean, we're not the best, we don't have great numbers at 15 and stuff. Even grubs, we're not the best at, so we need to be, for sure, getting better at that. But I think the most exciting thing for playoff is Fearless, how do you actually going to prepare for Fearless? I think some, Asian teams have been doing specific scenarios, and, it's also as a staff, it's really... exciting to see. Okay, it's a new way of drafting, new way of preparing. How they should actually going to do it? Is there a smart way to do so? Is there like I don't know, an algorithm that you have to do to make it good? So that's what I'm the most excited of. And in terms of level, you know, it's like I think it's going to be a new patch. It's going to be new. Like a lot of things are going to change, right? We are playing in 12 days, I think, after this weekend. It's a long time, so it's hard to completely say we're the best. But if we work well, I think for sure we can do a good performance. Yes.
One thing I was wondering now that, in comparison to last year, because in summer you guys were ramping up. Unfortunate end of summer, you were in really good form, but right now you guys are coming into these playoffs as pretty much the top dog. You know, have you seen any sort of mentality shift within your players or within the team or the organization when you transition from this contender, middle of the pack, to being the top dog, where you need to keep your foot on the ground, staying humble, and still finding this way to keep progressing, moving forward?
No, I mean, that's the thing that's good. You know, with the club and the players know is like we have a certain standard of where we want to go in every team that is in the club. So obviously there's the League of Legends team, but there's like other teams, you know, like we all want to win worlds in our game, you know. And I think they all know that it's only regular season, and that's something I've been saying for a long time. It's, you know, it's about playoff. It's about like, it doesn't matter if you're first place, if you do 2 losses in best of 3s, the 2 first best of 3s place, then you're top 8. So it doesn't matter regular season. Like, it's really about the best of 3s. So now it's just the beginning. We're happy. We're doing good. Yeah, sure, super. Yeah, we're really happy. There you go. Your no trophy. We got a trophy of regular season. But the most important is the next steps, right? So that's the next weeks that are going to be the most important. I think they all know about it. So that's good.
Before we get there, we have a match of the week tomorrow, still against Fnatic, fighting for first. I know that it doesn't count, but it counts for us. What do you think of this matchup, going against probably one of the best teams, if not the best team we have in the league right now, and also your ex-AD carry versus your new AD carry on the Rift?
yeah. I mean, really, really exciting. I think for sure they were the team that was the most problematic in scrims, if I can say. I think it's not a surprise that they are tied with us at first place. I think it will be a really exciting game. And yeah, I think it will be a banger in the bot lane. Let's see how it goes, you know.
No lane swaps.
I mean...
No, play standard League of Legends, no lane swap. We don't want this.
You know, like, I think maybe they swap, you know, them, not
You need
us.
a handshake agreement in the middle.
Yeah, no, I think, really excited. Also, like, proper, like, shout out to their staff. I think Gax and Grabs have been doing great works, except maybe the first draft. But yeah, like, really excited to play against them. Really excited, yeah.
You better come up with a good draft after saying this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jinx yourself here. Thank you so much, though, for coming to PGL. It was always interesting hearing about KC. Odo, thank you for joining me for this one as well. And thank you all at home for watching the LEC. We'll be back tomorrow, 5:45 for Ready Check, 6 p.m. for the beginning of the games. Have a good evening, everyone. See ya.
In this initial split of the LTA North, today's scenarios are clear. You either win or you go home, and you do not want to go home. Everything is on the line as Elimination Station is right around the corner, and the stakes couldn't be higher. It's stay a while or back to the domicile as Shopify Rebellion take on Lion. Then later, the teams separated by a vow will do battle to see who moves on and who's sent packing back to roost as Dig take on DSG. There's everything to lose as the remaining slots left for Sao Paulo dwindle week after week here at the LTA. Will it be see you again or back to the condominium? Ascendancy or wait and see? Will the teams keep yapping or is it back to the cabin? Cause one team's gotta go and the other's back to the bungalow. See who remains in their place and who's heading back to base. The LTA starts now.
Guys, we are actually 0-6, but we have good hairline, you know?
Good what?
We have good hairline.
How does it go? You're looking for the next knock-up. He flashes away, but to the other side of the map. Why flash is the big question. And now Rika's just once again tried to help his jungler.
If you can get out, that's good. Cassandra is there, okay?
Nice switch. Come to me.
Oh my god, I'm so good at this game, by the way.
BFG. They are too low, they are too low, they are too low.
Just go die, guys, it's all good.
Kill them all, kill them. Penta, penta. Oh my god, you still my penta.
Mickey's here to help out. Oscar flashes away, but solo flare. Mickey, you're so fine.
Nice.
He's very fine.
That's it. We are fine, guys, we are fine.
Oh, kill the Aurora. No flash.
I'm ulting Esper.
Nice.
The base.
Alistar no flash. Finish it. I'm ulting here, I'm ulting here. Okay, I'm tipping mid. Chill. Nice.
Let me block. Kill Brown, can we get it? Yeah. Looks good. Oh, looks good. Cocky. Can you take it over? Can you push him out? Chill.
It's not good, I think.
It's good. Get Brown. Let me set. I get him best. I see. Nice.
14, no W, no flash.
Elias, they look to fight.
You're not winning. Nice, Odoamne. You like that cojones you push? I like it.
There's on me. Is that it? Corki is nothing. I can't have flash, but
Let's
oh my god.
nice.
Okay. Varus. No flash, no flash. Keep it. Oh.
It's fine.
It's good.
I go mid.